It's my first look at the wide receiver position for week 15, and we're starting right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to another daily fantasy sports video. If this is your first time here and you want to become a profitable DFS player and get better at betting, start now by subscribing to the channel. But make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything along the way. And if you're already a Holkamaniac, you know exactly what time it is. Smash that like button and we'll get rolling. Wide receiver week 15. If anyone's watching this on YouTube later, definitely come hang out with us on Twitch. Tuesdays, we do go through the slate at each position. Our first look, we do it as a group, as a community. Twitch.tv/Joe Holka. If you are watching this on YouTube and know that you can't come hang out live, definitely make sure you hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live and you can do me a solid. Open up a tab, open it up on your phone. It's kind of the best way you can support kind of the path to partner. So would appreciate that, guys. This week is going to be one where I think we need to find a little bit of value per usual at wide receiver, a little bit of upside. But that's kind of that's our specialty, right? So the first thing that I always want to see at the wide receiver position, and by the way, this is a sheet that I make available to all my Twitch subscribers each and every week. It is posted in the Discord. We have a first look sheet, and also it's updated on Sunday mornings as well. But it's me kind of putting together what I know really matters at the position long term, and weighted opportunity rating. Again, this is people just mention this constantly, just because it's something that everyone wants, that one number that can just encompass what makes a guy a decent play or not a decent play. And this is as close as we got at wide receiver, in my opinion. So it's shout out Josh Hermsmeyer. It is free at airyards.com. Target market share, air yards market share. It's basically what goes into this number. Jarvis Landry leading the way on this slate with DeAndre Hopkins, 0.72 over the last 4 games. 4-game sample is really what you want to focus on. A lot of these metrics, according to our boy Josh Hermsmeyer. But 6,700, nice price tag for him against Arizona. Yep, might be a Jarvis Landry week again. I feel like we've been talking about this guy a lot, but I think that he's certainly in play. DeAndre Hopkins all the way up to 8K now after that week last week. I think he'll probably be relatively popular again this week, especially if Will Fuller is out. So we'll keep an eye on that. Robert Woods priced up all the way to 6,200 now, but the opportunity has been there for Robert Woods. He just hadn't been scoring touchdowns. It's there last week with the touchdown. It's priced up. It's kind of how it works. Courtland Sutton, 5,900. I like that. Courtland Sutton's kind of I got a soft spot for Courtland Sutton just because I feel like that's a guy that he's almost always popping in these type of metrics. He's a very talented wide receiver. We know talent matters at wide receiver more than probably any position, honestly. So interested in him. Cristian Kirk, 5,500. Again, we talked about how underpriced Kyler is in this spot. Seems like a pretty easy pair with Cristian Kirk, top 5 in weighted opportunity. One thing that does scare me a little bit is his yards per route run has gone down very severely recently. So maybe that's part of the reason he hasn't been quite getting there for people. So if we look at yards per route run, again, this is another metric that I think is going to kind of lead you towards consistently some of the best wide receivers in the NFL. If we take out some of these smaller samples, A.J. Brown. Shout out A.J. Brown. All the people that were watching on Sunday after kickoff, we do a stream most Sundays to kind of sweat the games together. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely do that. But we also talk about late swaps, and A.J. Brown, Austin Eckler were the guys that would give you a ton of leverage if you're behind. Both of them just absolutely explode. So shout out anyone that had A.J. Brown save their lineups last week. 4.8 yards per route run is one of the more insane numbers I've seen at this stat. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, shout out A.J. Brown. Robert Woods right up there as well. Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Jarvis Landry, Mike Williams. Well, Mike Williams' price hasn't moved. That's interesting as well. But yeah, in terms of someone like Cristian Kirk, normally we don't see a huge discrepancy between weighted opportunity and yards per route run, but that's definitely something to keep an eye on when it comes to Cristian Kirk. Anyone play Darius Layton last night on the Showdown slate, Monday Night Football? Eli loves this guy. It is Miami coming up here, so his weighted opportunity, top 15 on the slate or so. Nice total at home. You don't want to play Eli with Saquon. Maybe you get behind another Darius Slayton game. I don't know if I'll be there myself for it, but 4,700 is a nice price tag for him. See if I missed anything here in the chat. Ryan Hodge is here. What's up, Hodge? Landry Kirk correlation, easy game, move on. It's a real simple game, right? I think if I went back and just like watched what we talked about last week on the first look and just like played that lineup, not like talking myself into something like Dalvin Cook or talking myself into something like Kenny Stills, probably just win all the money. So maybe that's the play. Someone says they love Terry's price, may bounce back. I mean, Terry's always going to have a nice price, I feel like, because of his quarterback attached to him and how poor Washington is as a whole. Against Philly, maybe. Probably going to see Ronald Darby. I certainly think that's a matchup that McLaurin can win. 5,300 for him. Nice price tag for a guy that's top 10 in weight opportunity. I mean, you don't have. He always feels like a guy that's like just such a strong tournament play. He's always underpriced, and he's always really seeing a nice target share. He's talented. So I'm with you. See that being a play. Any validity to Gurley increase usage and Robert Woods opportunity? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we talked about Gurley at running back. I think that he's someone at 6K that makes some sense if you do think he's going to start to see the normal Gurley usage, I guess you could say. Maybe he's getting healthier. Robert Woods just feels like someone that's still a little bit underpriced at 6,200 for me. I'm in on that. That yards per outrun, 3.5, that's a crazy number. Total yards over the last 4. This is kind of how you bake in a little bit of efficiency wide receiver. So this is like a couple of years ago, I always use it as an example because it helps people quantify it. This is how you land on the Alvin Kamara's when he's getting 17 touches. This is how you land on the Tyreek Hills when he's getting 6 catches, something like that. So total yards over the last 4 over a long enough time period is relatively predictive. So Robert Woods leading the slate in terms of that. Robert Woods, A.J. Brown, Devontae Parker. I'll have to get Calvin Ridley out of here. I think he announced that he's done for the year. I could have gotten that. Someone announced something on Instagram. I missed that yesterday, but I'll have to take a look at that. What else we got here? Will Fuller, keep an eye on that hamstring, 5,600 against Tennessee. Ideally, you kind of want to beat Tennessee in the short area of the field. I'll say that. 27th at defending the short pass. That's interesting. What else we got here? Let's see if I miss anything in the chat. DJ Moore. DJ Moore's been really solid for me this year. Shout out DJ Moore, man. 6,600. They priced him down a little bit. I think it was like 7K last week. So a team that's passing a lot against Seattle. All right. Nice weighted opportunity for DJ Moore. I'm a DJ Moore fan. Most people know that by now. We were playing DJ Moore what feels like every single week when he was like 5,500. And Vegas didn't want to move his price for a while. And when Christian McCaffrey was getting all the touchdowns, DJ Moore gets offered such a nice floor. He has a very carved out role in this offense. So yeah, I'm with you on DJ Moore, man, for sure. See, Edelman, 10 plus targets past 5 games. Yeah, Edelman, 7,100. I will say Edelman's a guy that I guess like I never play, but I mean, great spot against Cincinnati for sure. And this New England team needs to start getting some momentum, right? Like they're going to be a playoff team. They really need to get their offense on track, and Edelman is going to be a key piece of that if they do that. So would like to have seen him be a little bit cheaper, but it's really hard to argue with the volume there. A lot of sharp people were on him last week in some tournament teams. So yeah, I don't hate Edelman at all. I think that's something that could work out for sure. Let's see. Yeah, Slayton versus Miami seems like a decent way to go. There's definitely going to be some volatility there with or at least some recency bias in terms of people jumping back on that train. Let's see. Your sheet was coming in clear. Now it's out of focus. Anyone else seeing the sheet out of focus? Let me know. Who's your number 2 for Tampa Bay? That's an interesting one. Let's take a look at that. So probably Perriman. I would think he's been the guy that saw the most usage last week when Evans did. I think he's the guy that's going to see the Evans targets, I believe. So he had 5 targets last week, 70 yards and a touchdown, ran a ton of snaps, or a ton of routes, I should say, in this game. 65 of 78 snaps. So I would assume he'd probably be the guy that would benefit the most. He's 4,500. So I don't hate that in terms of looking for a decent value play. I think he's interesting. Let's piece through this. What do we think about Jacksonville? These guys are so cheap now against Oakland. So Chris Conley's 3,600. Edy Westbrook's 4,600. Keelan Cole's 3K. When like all of these guys are projecting for as like decent values, it's I guess where are we at on the Jacksonville wide receivers? Because I think all these guys are super cheap now. It's interesting. So Conley, the last couple of weeks, like he's kind of the high ADOT guy, right? He hasn't quite gotten there for a couple of weeks now. He was in the buy low model, I believe, for a while, but only 3 targets in last week's game. Edy Westbrook, complete opposite. He's someone that kind of plays the intermediate area of the field. 7 targets, 8 targets, 9 targets. Like he's gonna have a decent floor in any week that he's in. At 4,600, he shapes up, I think, to be probably the safest option for sure. Keelan Cole, yeah, not really on board with Keelan Cole, but again, he's 3K, right? So if you wanted to really go dumpster diving, maybe. Let's see. Terry will bounce back next year when he gets a new QB. Hopefully, man. I would love to see some more Terry. Anyone could love some more Terry in their life, I think. Yeah, upgrade to Godwin for sure. I don't care that Godwin's gonna see Slay, for the record. I think that we talked about it last week with Mike Evans. Like, at what point is it just a really tough matchup for for the guy that's trying to cover Godwin? I think he's one of those guys that can kind of still pop off in really any matchup. Where is Godwin on my sheet? There he is, 7,700. I think we can kind of look past some of this target share stuff based on now we have a lot of target share that's opened up with Mike Evans, obviously. So yeah, no, I'm in on Godwin at 7,700. He's expensive, right? So you're going to be kind of deciding between him, Hopkins, Devontae Adams again. Always seems to score against Chicago. Edy Westbrook with DJ Chark out. Yeah, I mean, I think Edy is the guy that really I would be interested in when it comes to the Jacksonville wide receivers this week. Watson, a punt play with Evans out. Watson, you think? I think it's still Perriman for me. So Justin Watson is the guy that he's referring to. He's 3,700. Hit 8 targets in the last game. All right. Maybe we're going to have to work our way through that a little bit. My first instinct was Perriman. But we'll see. Well, let's look at that a little bit deeper as the week goes on. I'm not willing to rule that one out yet. Watson's Spark score was 90th percentile. Nice. Thanks for that, Downer. Appreciate it, man. That's actually really interesting. Let's see. Just DD. Yeah, I'm with you, Sunblade. Active chat this morning. Love that, guys. Appreciate that. What else we got here? Slay, best years are behind him. I'm with you. I don't think that we have to worry about Godwin with Slay. Gage with Ridley out. Let's take a look at Gage. The Vein, thanks for a tier 1 sub, man. Appreciate that. And by the way, I know I mentioned it before, but we have a bunch of people here now that may not have been here earlier. Want to remind you guys, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you automatically have access to a free Twitch Prime subscription. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Myself, with Al, with Manny, any of us, kind of the best way to support what we're trying to do here for free. Get access to this data sheet that is available to all my Twitch subscribers, posted in Discord. Let's see what else we got here. Scary Terry. Yeah, a lot of people like Scary Terry. Oh, we're talking about Gage. So yeah, let's look at Gage now that Ridley's out. He's 5K. I was hoping he'd be a little bit cheaper than that. It's my first instinct, but yeah, he's gonna see volume. Projecting him for about 4.1 catches right now, which is pretty decent for that price point. Targeting San Francisco, the guy that's 5K, might be a tough sell, depending. I mean, this is a really tough team there. So yeah, I don't love the Gage one, if I'm being completely honest, man. What else we got? What do we think about? It's just so I've been like trying to avoid these Detroit guys, but on the other side of the Tampa Bay game, like who's our bring back in that game? Is it Marvin Jones? It's probably Marvin Jones, right? He's 5,200. Hardy with Ridley out. Yeah, I think that I kind of agree with Misk in the chat. He's saying that Hooper's the play for the Falcons. Yeah, I think he's the guy that maybe just ends up kind of eating more of those targets. And I agree that him being back hurts Gage a bit. So with you. Misk likes Galladay. I think that I prefer gets the cheaper one in that situation. For me, that's probably Marvin Jones. Let's take a peek here. Let's see if we missed any of these. See where Marvin Jones is actually. I want to bring back on that game. 5,200. Yeah, I think Marvin Jones is solid. Very solid at 5,200. Tampa Bay 31st at defending the deep pass. 5th at defending short area of the field. Kind of like Marvin Jones at 5,200. Am I crazy? Mike Williams at 46, still very much in play. Assume he's probably not going to see Xavier Rhodes. Not that matters. Maybe a little bit of Trey Waynes. Nice opportunity rating for him. decent yards per route run. Mike Williams has been just smashing. They don't want to move his price, I guess. Maybe DraftKings stopped trying to figure out if he's going to score touchdowns or not. They just don't move his price no matter what. 4,600 seems like a good spot for him, though. Only 3 targets last week. We forced 7 targets. Finally got in the end zone last week, though. So that's probably why his price didn't move. Really have a whole lot besides that touchdown. I think you have to do 2 groups with Jones and Galladay bring back. Not sure if Hodge is still in here, but man, I keep telling everyone your story about Tennessee or Tampa Bay about how earlier in the year Hodge was just playing the same lineup, one with Godwin, one with Evans. Did that the whole year, you'd be so rich. Maybe you just do that with your bring backs on Detroit. If you want to learn more about how to be a profitable DFS player and how to get better at betting, start now by hitting the subscribe icon in the bottom right-hand corner so you don't miss anything. If you want to take your game to that next level, make sure you're hanging out with us live on Twitch next time. Twitch.tv/Joe Holka. We'll see you there.